Hi friends, yeah, I'm going to show you what I believe is a pretty easy way to do a little bit of formatting for a screenplay. This is just something I did years ago, and I thought I'd share it with you. So here we have the cover page with my name of this just makeshift movie, and down the bottom left we have a email contact and a phone number, just made up. Okay, now as we can see here, we already have page numbers, but I'll show you just how to do that in case you don't know. So we click on page numbers. We want to put it at the top right of the header. The alignment is right. We want to format it. We're going to start at 0 because we don't want a number on our cover page. We then click OK, and that little part is done. So that's pretty cool. As you can see up the top here, there is nothing. So yeah, down to page 1. Now what we've got is, we'll also note that the font, the text, has been done in Courier New at 12 point, and that all the scene headings are done in capital letters. Also, when a character is introduced for the first time, you will use capitals there as well. You'll see here that I refer to Wordmaster again, but this time I haven't done it in all caps. So that's worth noting. And you might want to add a little bit more expression here, yelling. But basically what we've done is, we've done a little description of where we are. We're at the example word factory. I don't know if that actually exists, but it does here. Howling winds outside, noise and machinery everywhere, lights flicker, workers busily placing words together. Chaos. We don't have to write there is chaos, we just write chaos. That's good enough. And just a little bit more to add to the scene. Every 2 minutes, flashing sign appears. Bells ring to remind of tight schedule. Some will faint, no one helps. So you get, we have an idea of what's going on. It's a very busy factory floor workplace by the sounds of it. Wordmaster is the boss, Miss Paragraph is her assistant. Constant bickering, Wordmaster often yells, stressed. I think we get the idea. But what we've got is, we're not in the right formatting for a screenplay reader to look over this. They wouldn't give it any attention. So what we do is, we've got the page numbers done. We're going to go up here. Of course, we're using Microsoft Word, of course. We're going to click Page Setup. We're going to go here, Microsoft Word, click on Margins, and we're on the standard margins at the moment. And what we're going to do here is get rid of that, go to 0, get rid of that, go to 0. We're going to go here, 3.83, and down here we're going to give the gutter font edge, from edge I should say, the gutter, 5.5 would be more precise. Then we're going to click OK, and watch what happens. So the margins at the top are 0, so the text will run on. Now the reason this is slightly odd and not in the center is, if you could imagine this printed out, and well, you will need holes on the side here for the folder to be able to take the pages of script. So that's why they offset it to the right a little bit, to allow for the push through holes, punch holes. That's the word I'm looking for, silly me. Okay, now let's push OK. So get all this again in your mind. Push OK. Don't worry about the fix, just click ignore, because we're going to save this as a PDF file. That way when it gets printed out, the PDF should be accepted by pretty much every printer and will not change in the formatting. So what we've got here is, there's been a few changes. As you can see, this is risen. So we're going to just push enter a couple of times, and we'll come back up. We'll come back up 2 more times. And as you can see here, the text now here, the description text is near the page number. You won't get it exactly level, but you don't want it exactly level, otherwise it may intrude on the spacing. So if I backspace one more time, yeah, so it's jumped up. So, and that's cool. So what we'll do is we'll send it back down. We know that we leave it literally one line below the page number here. So that's fine. We still have our description. Also what we do here is, yeah, you'll see there were some changes. We'll just send that down a little bit. Now, back to here. And there you go. And what we do is, you'll notice the spacing. So we have one line of space in between this scene heading setup. And also you'll notice that there's basically one line of space between the page number. Now, normally you try and keep your descriptive sentences to 2 lines if you can, your little paragraphs. So howling winds outside, noisy machinery, workers, we can just write, we can take away howling winds. Okay, yeah, all right, let's take that. And there you go. We have, now we're back to 2 lines. Every 2 minutes flashing sign appears. Okay, let's see, bells ring to remind of tight schedule. Bells ring, let's get rid of this. Bells ring, remind, tight schedule. Bells ring, we'll put a full stop there. Backspace, capital, remind, tight schedule. Okay, let's space that down. Once again, if we were here, we'll come back. As you can see, we're past 2 lines here. And we've also given Wordmaster the all capitals, because it's the first time we've mentioned this character. So what we'll do is, just to get this back to 2 lines, we will simply get rid of the word the. If we take that back, then we're nice and neat again. We're on 2 lines, as you can see. So now let's scroll down a little. Now what we've got here is, we're going to click next to Wordmaster and tab it 3 times. 1, 2, 3. We're then going to click next to the dialogue and go 1, 2, and then we're going to tab again. Sometimes it takes a couple of goes. I'm not quite sure why it's doing this. Sometimes it'll do it all in one go, but I think you're getting the idea. And there you go. So that's fine. So now we have a block of text that looks different than this. The block of text looks how it should. So we come down to here. 1, 2, 3. Let's see how we go this time. 1, 2. Give this another go. And it's not into it for some reason. We'll give that a bit of spacing. But what we know is, we know this is Miss Paragraph talking. We know this is her text. And we've made space here for punch holes when it was printed out. So what we will do is, I'll point out, we will leave the action description as normal. We won't tab that in at all. Okay, we've got a new character. His name is Data Boy, and we've done him in capital letters. And as you will see here, I've referred to him again, Data Boy, but he's no longer in all capital letters. So, and here is Data Boy with his 1 line of text. He doesn't look happy. There's an exclamation mark at the end. And Wordmaster, who is the boss you might remember, has a reply. Now, as you can see, down the bottom here, we've got Data Boy, and his line crosses over into page 2. Now, what I'll do is, just for a better appearance, I'll just send that down to the next line, and it looks much better than splitting up the title of the character and the line. It's much better to have it together, and a script reader would appreciate that you've done this. So, and Miss Paragraph, it appears she's got something to say. We'll just put a full stop on the end of her text, and we'll go down a bit further, and now we have a new scene. Exterior, oh yeah, EXT is external, exterior, and INT is interior. So we're actually outside. We know we're outside when we see this. And we're at the front gates of the example movie word factory, and it's night time. So a new character named Word Mac, he has arrived to deliver more words. Gatekeeper pencil request pass. Word Mac will need pass to get in to the word example movie word factory. Word Mac can't find it. No entry. So that's all you have to write. We know what's happening. Word Mac pleads. Gatekeeper pencil ignores. Word Mac, he's angry, so we've written loud. And he's got something to say here as well, going by the look of all this text, with an exclamation mark at the end, just to reinforce what he's feeling. Gatekeeper pencil, he's stating his case, and he appears to be standing firm. Word Mac still has more to say on the subject, and once again, there is an exclamation mark. So perhaps this has happened before and this is an ongoing argument. So in this instance, here's our little bit of text formatting, and what we haven't done, I guess I should continue just for the minute. 1, 2, 3 tabs. 1, 2. Down here, one more tab. Wordmaster, 1, 2, 3. Here, 1, 2. It doesn't normally split up quite like this, but we'll get over it. And we'll tab it again. Oh, you're annoying. Okay, let's just backspace, put it into there. Yep. Let's backspace this. You'll find out there you go. Where there's a will, there is a way. So that's that little block. Of course, this is going to keep happening, but normally this is only because I've cut and pasted text a couple of times. So we're just getting that as a part of the little formatting problems. Not a big deal. Okay, now we're down here. Let's go across again. 1, 2, 3. This is okay. This is just reinforcing to you what I'm doing. So I'm not too fussed to do it a couple of times. Good old Miss Paragraph. 1, 2, 3. She's a good worker. Probably should have given incumbent a capital I, but you know. 1, 2, and let's go again. 1. Let's go back. Space. Let's go 1, 2. Let's go down here, tab it. Let's go backspace. As I said, it's just a little bit of formatting chaos happening here. Nothing to worry about. You'll generally, when you've written your own original dialogue, you won't get that mess around when you do the tabbing. But for the point of what we're doing here, okay, Word Mac, we're up to this guy. 1, 2, 3. Let's go 1, 2. We know what's going to happen. Let's do that again. Let's backspace just to get it over. 1, 2. Let's backspace. Let's give that a tab. There you go. It's all starting to at least look like a screenplay now. So many roads to Rome. Good name for a film, that. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Let's go again. There we go. I'll backspace that. Word Mac, once again, as you can see, Word Mac is at the top of one page, is his text here, but yet his character identification is at the bottom of another. To make it look a little bit nicer, we'll tap that down, and here we go, we've done it. So, okay, we now have what is literally a 3-page screenplay formatted. Didn't take long. Here we go, my mistake. 1, 2, 3. I've got to remember to do that if I'm showing you how to do this. And we'll just go down, make sure. I'll backspace it. What are you doing? You're driving me crazy. I was tabbing instead of backspacing. My mistake. Let's go. And here we go. So we're okay. We get there in the end. And okay, let's have a little look over this. So we've got room here for the punch hole marks. So this is to the right. If it was an actual printout, it could go in a punch hole folder and be read. There's reference here as in page numbers. We have characters. We have the text. I'll just spread that out. We have the text. We know who is saying it. And if we scroll back up, all the text is there. The action is there. It's not tabbed across. We have characters in capital letters where they need to be. Then the next time we mention them in the action, we don't have to capitalize. We have the exterior, we know where we are, the front gates of example movie Word Factory, we know it's night time. Okay, scrolling back up, once again we know this is all text, we know who is saying it in this paragraph. Data boy, he's got his one line, let's change what he's saying, he's angry. So we're going to give him an exclamation mark. We might even just add a little bit here, angry. So that's okay, it just reinforces what's happening. And as you can see here, luckily the text cut off there. But let's actually do something here. Let's just go down a bit. And as you can see, we've ended up with a paragraph that is split up. And I'm going to just copy and paste it, put it here. And there, and as we can see, the text has continued down here. And we've also got a bit more of a gap there. So we'll backspace just to even up that gap. And what we can do here, we can do two things. We can write here, continued. We'll put in just a little apostrophe and a D. And we know that is Wordmaster and that it's his paragraph continued. Now, another way to have done it could have been, let's go back up here. We could have actually come down, if it wasn't such a long paragraph, we could have sent it all down to the next page and kept it up the top. But that leaves a big gap here, and I prefer to do the continued section, which is, and a screenplay writer would understand what's happening, and they would not begrudge you either way. If it worked out, that this was down, there was only perhaps say, let's say there were 4 lines. Take out the continued, and okay, Data Boy. Let's give Data Boy this same line. Copy. Let's give him the same line. I'll paste it. And we'll bring him down. And see, just to show you, there can be a gap here. And we've brought Data Boy down. And it looks better. It just looks better rather than having Data Boy there with what is... Tab this back in. What is... spread out over 2 pages. So look, I won't continue on any further other than just to say sometimes it's better to have good punctuation, but if it makes the page look better for the reader, something long like this, you would perhaps put a continuation in if it is at the top and the bottom of a page. So look, I won't go any further, but the main point of all this was to show you to tab across. Let's go down, 1, 2, 3, and to tab 1, 2, to tab the text across and make it look like a screenplay text. And that way the reader knows this is all text and that this is the actual action. Dialogue and action. So, and also exactly the scene setting as well. So now we have all that, and we have a front cover page that does not have a number up the top here. It has the title, it has my contact information. Oh yeah, look, we've lost a little bit here in all this. Let's go back. You have to keep an eye on all this as you're doing it. And we'll send this guy back down. You don't want any dialogue or action on your cover sheet. And here we are back here. Scroll down, we will double check. Let's see what happened, if there are any changes. It all looks reasonably good. You'll notice here that we did lose a line, so we'll bring that back up and we'll double check. We'll go all the way down. I think you get the idea. We don't need to do it. Here we go. We lost a few lines there as well. Come back up and let's see what happened down the bottom of the page. And there is actually no third page. So if we were here, let's get rid of that. And so there you go, 2 pages with text, with the settings. And what we are going to now do is, hopefully I haven't rambled on too much. See, you've got to keep your eye on this. It drives me nuts a little bit. Let's go down and let's scroll back up just to confirm everything. Yeah, welcome to Crazy Town. But you get that. And yeah, here we go. It all looks pretty reasonable for a screenplay writer to read, and that's pretty cool. That's what you want. You don't want them to begrudge any of your work. You want them to just read it as they would normally read it in the format they know best. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to save as, and we'll call it Word Example Movie Screenplay, and we are going to save it as a PDF, and that way we know when we print it out that all the formatting will not change, because some printers, when you go up to Officeworks and places, it looks all right on your home computer, it looks okay on your home printer, but when you go to print it, it comes out different. So if we save it as a PDF, you're there. So save, and we're not worried if it's outside the margins because it's a portable document file, and that's it's all good. So here we go down there, and it actually looks like a screenplay. And just to remember, use Courier New on 12 point. And you're there, you're done. And I can only wish you success. Good luck with